I'm at a place here called Ogorie, which is a really important place in Mokpo. We've got 5 streets here intersecting, and Ogorie in Korean actually means 5 streets. A long time ago, this was the center of Mokpo, and this side here would have been the Japanese side, and this side here was the Korean street. And all along here, there would have been lots of people, a lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of different shops and restaurants, and it would have been a really important part of the city. A lot of old places on this street here. If we look over there, there's a bakery that's been here since 1949. And right behind me here, there's a Chinese restaurant that's been here since 1947. This one's older, so it must be more delicious. Let's go check it out. 오거리 옛날에 어땠어요?
그 전에 목포의 중심이 오거리예요.
네.
중심지가
네.
왜 그러냐면은 저기 유달동으로 갔다 오셨어요? 여기 밑으로 가시면은
네.
옛날 그 일본 영사관 자리 있고 거기 있어요. 그쪽이 원래는 이제 아주 거기가 번화가 있어요.
네.
오거리에서 이쪽으로 해갖고 일본인하고 조선 사람들이
네.
이렇게 만나는 거리예요. 그리고 여기 밑으로는 이제 조선인들 거주 지역인데
네.
이게 옛날에는 사람이 엄청 아까 제가 말씀드렸잖아요.
네.
관청이 다 있고 있다고 하는데
네.
거의 다 떠났어요 이제는. 그런데 그나마 이 거리에서 남아 있는 게 식당은 저희 가게하고 이 앞에 보면 대가점도 있어요.
네. Wow, that looks really good. It's really hot too. Oh, this looks great. It smells wonderful. Usually when I have 짜장면, the sauce is mixed in, but here it was separate. And the vegetables here look a lot smaller, but it's making it a little bit easier to mix everything together. The noodles look a little bit more thin, like they're cut a little bit smaller than the ones that I've seen before. The noodles are soft, the vegetables are like perfectly cooked. It's really, really good. Especially coming from the United States, we have our own like American Chinese food that you can't really find in Asia. And it's interesting to see that here in Korea as well. Even though it's not maybe real Chinese food, it's really delicious and it's always nice to eat this. I wonder if they can deliver to Seoul. This is really good.
이게 오래됐다는 거. 그건 돈으로 살 수도 없잖아요. 가만히 생각하니까 벌써 지금 횟수로 70몇 년인데 제대 그만두긴 아깝고 아들까지 하려고 그렇게 계획을 하고 있어요.
Up these stairs is the path to 목포진. It looks like a cool little alley. I'm sure we can find some interesting spots along the way. This is pretty cool. It's a stack of the fish boxes, just like we saw last time. It's cool seeing them stacked here in front of this old abandoned house with the plants growing out of them. But seeing the plants come out like this is almost like seeing new life come from old places, which is kind of symbolic of what we've seen in Mokpo this whole time. Even though this spot looks kind of dirty and almost dangerous to navigate, it's cool to see that people are still using it like they are here to grow some plants and have a little garden near their house where they can grow food to eat. Oh, there's some flags up on the hill here. I think that means this must be 목포진. From up here at 목포진, we can see just about every place in Mokpo that we've been along our journey. From the port to the Japanese consulate, all the way to Shiwa Golmok, it's cool to see how far we've come. Now, we know during the Joseon period, Korea used this area as their naval base to defend from Japanese attacks. But the sad irony is that when Japan later came, they would use this area for their navy to strengthen their military foothold here in Mokpo. It's been an amazing journey exploring the beautiful alleys of Mokpo together and hearing the stories of the people who've lived here. While there are many painful memories living in the streets here, it's important that we learn from Mokpo and see that history is not something to forget, but a way for us to remember the adversity that we've overcome.
주스를 틈도 없이 또다시 바람 세차게 바람.
Since I started photography, I've taken pictures of lots of different things, but it's the streets and alleys of the city that really capture my attention the most. The alleys here in Mokpo special, I think, are that the whole city revolves around the sea, and so you kind of have this harbor flavor deep in the alleys. Even if they're not close to the water, it's just permeating through the whole city.